Hey beautiful souls, welcome back to Cosmic Blueprints Astrology. I'm Sino and today we're diving deep into the first sign of the zodiac, Aries, the Ram. This fire sign ignites the astrological wheel with pure, unfiltered energy, and whether you're in Aries yourself or have significant Aries placements in your chart, understanding this sign can unlock powerful insights into your cosmic blueprint. Aries season begins on March 21st, marking the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere. A time of rebirth, new beginnings, and awakening. It's no coincidence that Aries energy embodies these very qualities. This is the pioneer of the zodiac, the warrior, the trailblazer who charges forward where others hesitate. In this video, we'll explore everything from Aries' planetary ruler and elemental nature to how the sign expresses itself in different areas of life. We'll look at the shadow side of Aries, its evolutionary path, and how to work with this dynamic energy, whether it's your sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, or appears elsewhere in your natal chart. So let's ignite that Aries fire and begin our journey into the heart of the Ram. So let's start with the fundamentals. Aries is represented by the ram, an animal known for its courage, determination, and that famous head-first approach to obstacles. The ram's horns symbolize the willingness to break through barriers, to initiate action, and to lead the charge. In ancient mythology, rams were associated with sacrifice, leadership, and the divine masculine energy of creation. Aries is a fire sign, and this element is crucial to understanding its nature. Fire represents spirits, inspiration, passion, and the vital life force itself. Fire signs are driven by enthusiasm, creativity, and the desire to express their authentic will. But fire doesn't just burn, it transforms, purifies, and illuminates. Aries fire is the spark that starts the blaze, the initial burst of inspiration that sets everything in motion. The modality of Aries is cardinal. In astrology, we have three modalities: cardinal, fixed, and mutable. Cardinal signs initiate the seasons. Aries begins spring, Cancer begins summer, Libra begins autumn, and Capricorn begins winter. Cardinal energy is about initiation, leadership, and starting new cycles. It's the energy of the entrepreneur, the pioneer, the one who says, let's do this when everyone else is still planning. This combination of cardinal fire makes Aries the ultimate initiator of the zodiac. This is raw, primal energy focused on beginning, on taking that first step, on being the spark that ignites the flame. So every zodiac sign is ruled by a planet, and Aries is ruled by Mars, named after the Roman god of war. But Mars represents more than just conflict and aggression. It's the planet of action, assertion, desire, and life force. Mars is your inner warrior, your drive to pursue what you want, and your ability to stand up for yourself and others. In traditional astrology, Mars was considered a malefic planet, one that could cause difficulties. But modern astrology recognizes that Mars energy, when understood and channeled properly, is absolutely essential. Without Mars, we would lack the courage to take risks, the passion to pursue our dreams, and the strength to defend our boundaries. Mars gives Aries its competitive edge, its fearlessness, and its direct approach to life. When Mars is strong in a chart, you'll find people who know what they want and aren't afraid to go after it. They're assertive, courageous, and willing to face challenges head on. The Mars influence also explains why Aries energy can be impatient, impulsive, and sometimes aggressive. Mars doesn't like to wait. It wants to act now. This planet operates on instinct and immediate response rather than careful deliberation. Understanding this helps us work with Aries energy more consciously, channeling that Mars fire into productive action rather than reckless behavior. Mars also rules our physical energy and vitality. Aries individuals often have strong constitutions and natural athleticism. They need physical outlets for their abundant energy. So exercise, sports, or any activity that allows them to channel their warrior spirit constructively. Now let's explore the core characteristics that define Aries energy. Whether this appears as your sun, moon, rising, or in other planetary placements, these qualities will manifest in different but recognizable ways. So firstly, courage and fearlessness. Aries possesses a natural bravery that allows them to venture into unknown territories without overthinking the risks. They're the ones who volunteer to go first, who try the new thing, who aren't paralyzed by what-if scenarios. This courage isn't about being without fear, it's about acting despite fear. Next is independence and self-reliance. Aries energy craves autonomy. These individuals need the freedom to make their own choices, chart their own course, and prove themselves through their own efforts. They're self-starters who don't wait for permission or approval. This independence can be inspiring, though it can also make collaboration challenging. Next is directness and honesty. Aries is refreshingly straightforward. They say what they mean and mean what they say. There's no hidden agenda, no passive-aggressive behavior, no subtle manipulation. You always know where you stand with strong Aries energy. While this honesty can be blunt at times, it's also incredibly trustworthy. Next is enthusiasm and passion. When Aries gets excited about something, their enthusiasm is contagious. They throw themselves fully into new projects, relationships, and experiences with total commitment, at least initially. This passion is one of Aries' greatest gifts, inspiring others and creating momentum. Next is competitiveness. Aries loves a good challenge. They're natural competitors who are energized by pushing themselves and testing their abilities against others. This competitive streak can drive them to excellence, though it needs to be balanced with good sportsmanship and collaboration. Then we have spontaneity and living in the moment. Aries energy is fully present, responding to life as it unfolds rather than dwelling on the past or worrying excessively about the future. The spontaneity makes them exciting companions and helps them seize opportunities others might miss. Then quick decision making. While other signs might analyze endlessly, Aries trusts the instincts and decides quickly. They're action-oriented, preferring to learn by doing rather than endless preparation. Sometimes they leap before they look, but they also accomplish things while others are still planning. And lastly is natural leadership. Aries often finds themselves in leadership positions, not necessarily because they seek power, but because they're willing to take initiative when others hesitate. They lead by example, charging ahead and inspiring others to follow. Now let's look at the shadow side of Aries. Every sign has its challenges, and understanding Aries' shadow side is essential for growth and integration. These aren't flaws to be ashamed of, but rather areas for conscious development. So firstly is impatience. The flip side of Aries' action-oriented nature is difficulty with planning, waiting, or anything that requires sustained patience. They want results now, which can lead to frustration when things take time to develop. Learning that some things can't be rushed is a key lesson for Aries energy. Secondly is impulsivity. That beautiful spontaneity can become recklessness when Aries fails to consider consequences. Acting on immediate impulse without any reflection can lead to mistakes, hurt feelings, or burned bridges. The challenge is finding the balance between spontaneity and wisdom. Thirdly is short attention span. Aries excels at starting things but can struggle with follow-through. The initial excitement fades and something newer and shinier catches their attention. Learning to see projects through to completion, even when they're no longer novel, is crucial for manifesting Aries visions. Next is self-centeredness. The strong focus on self can make Aries energy seem selfish or inconsiderate. In their rush to pursue their own goals, they might overlook others' needs or feelings. Developing awareness of their impact on others is an important growth area. Then there's aggression and anger. Mars energy can express as healthy assertion or as aggression and anger. When frustrated, Aries can have a quick temper, though they typically cool down as quickly as they heat up. Learning to control anger constructively rather than explosively is vital. Then it's the need to win at all costs. The competitive nature can become toxic when winning becomes more important than integrity, relationships, or fair play. The shadow side of Aries can be the person who must win every argument or who sees every interaction as a competition. And then lastly is burnout. Aries' tendency to operate at full throttle without pacing themselves can lead to exhaustion and burnout. Learning to rest, recharge, and maintain sustainable energy levels is important. So the key to working with these shadow aspects is awareness and conscious healing. Aries energy isn't inherently negative. It simply needs maturity and wisdom to express its highest potential. So now let's look at Aries in different placements. Aries energy expresses differently depending on where it appears in your chart. So let's explore some key placements. Aries Sun. Your core identity is courageous, independent, and action-oriented. You're here to develop your individuality, take initiative, and lead. Your life purpose involves pioneering something new or being first in some way. You shine when you're being authentic, bold, and true to yourself. Aries Moon. Your emotional nature is passionate, direct, and quick to react. You need independence in your emotional life and can feel suffocated by too much emotional complexity or neediness. You process feelings through action rather than reflection. Emotional security comes from feeling free to be yourself and pursue your desires. Aries Rising. You approach life with boldness and directness. Others see you as energetic, confident, and sometimes intimidating. You tend to face challenges head-on and make quick first impressions. Your life path involves developing courage, initiative, and authentic self-expression. The ruler of your chart is Mars, making its placement especially important. Aries Mercury. Your thinking is quick, direct, and decisive. You speak your mind clearly and sometimes bluntly. You learn by doing rather than lengthy study, and you enjoy debate and intellectual competition. Your communication style is straightforward. You get to the point without excessive elaboration. Aries Venus. You're attracted to excitement, independence, and challenge in relationships. You love the chase and enjoy pursuing what you desire. You're passionate, direct about your feelings, and need a partner who can match your energy and give you space. You express through action and shared adventures. Aries Mars. This is Mars in its home sign, giving you tremendous drive, physical energy, and assertiveness. You're naturally competitive, courageous, and direct in pursuing your goals. You have strong will and the ability to initiate action quickly. The challenge is managing impulsivity and anger. Aries Jupiter. Your growth and expansion comes through courage, independence, and pioneering new territory. You have an optimistic, adventurous spirit and faith in your ability to handle whatever comes. You're generous with your enthusiasm and inspire others to be brave. Your luck often comes from taking bold action and being first. You may be drawn to philosophy of self-empowerment, competitive sports, or entrepreneurial ventures. The shadow is overconfidence or taking excessive risks without proper planning. Aries Uranus. This placement indicates a revolutionary, innovative spirit and a strong need for personal freedom. You're attracted to cutting-edge ideas, technology, and anything that breaks convention. Your individuality is fierce. You refuse to conform and may be seen as a rebel or trailblazer. Changes come suddenly in your life and you initiate them fearlessly. You have original ideas and the courage to implement them. This is often a generational placement, but personally, it shows where you break free from tradition and forge your own path with electric pioneering energy. Aries Neptune. You have idealistic visions of heroism, courage, and spiritual warriorship. Your imagination is fired by themes of adventure, questing, and pioneering consciousness. You may be drawn to spiritual practices that involve action, so martial arts, active meditation, or crusading for causes. There can be confusion about personal identity or a tendency to lose yourself in the role of warrior or hero. The challenge is distinguishing between genuine spiritual courage and ego-driven martyrdom. At its highest, this placement channels spiritual inspiration into brave, compassionate action. Aries Pluto. This is an intensely powerful placement indicating deep transformation through assertion of will and identity. You have tremendous personal power and the ability to regenerate yourself completely. There may be power struggles, especially around autonomy and control. You're drawn to transformative experiences that test your courage and strength. This placement often indicates someone who pioneers psychological or social transformation, who isn't afraid to confront darkness or shadow material. You may have experienced power dynamics strongly in early life, learning to reclaim your personal power. This is largely a generational placement, showing how your generation transforms concepts of leadership, courage, and individual power. The house where you have Aries in your chart shows the life area where you're meant to pioneer, initiate, and express courage and independence. This is where you'll face life head-on and potentially break new ground. Now let's look at relationships and compatibility. Aries in relationships brings passion, excitement, and directness. They fall fast and hard, pursuing what and who they want with single-minded focus. The beginning of an Aries relationship often feels like an adventure, full of spontaneity and intensity. In love, Aries needs independence and freedom. They don't do well with clingy, overly emotional, or passive partners. They're attracted to confidence, strength, and people who can hold their own. Aries wants a partner, not a project, someone who has their own life, passions, and goals. The Aries approach to conflict is direct confrontation. They prefer to hash things out immediately rather than let issues simmer. While this can be uncomfortable for more conflict-averse signs, it also means Aries doesn't hold grudges. They fight, make up, and move on. Compatible signs generally include fellow fire signs Leo and Sagittarius, who understand and match Aries' passion and independence. Air signs Gemini and Aquarius can also work well, providing intellectual stimulation and emotional space. Opposite sign Libra can be either highly compatible or challenging, offering the balance and diplomacy that Aries needs to develop. Earth signs may find Aries too impulsive and reckless, while Aries can see Earth signs as too slow or cautious. Water signs might feel overwhelmed by Aries' directness, while Aries can feel frustrated by water's emotional complexity. However, any combination can work with awareness, maturity, and mutual respect. The key for Aries in relationships is learning partnership without losing selfhood, considering others' needs without abandoning their own, and developing patience and emotional intelligence. So how about career and life purpose? Aries energy thrives in careers that allow independence, leadership, and dynamic action. They need work that's exciting, challenging, and allows them to see the results of their efforts quickly. Ideal careers include entrepreneurship, where Aries can build something from scratch and be their own boss. They excel in competitive fields like sales, athletics, or any performance-based environment. Leadership roles suit them naturally. They're the startup founders, the military leaders, the pioneering innovators. Aries also thrives in emergency services, so firefighters, paramedics, emergency room staff, where quick thinking and courage under pressure are essential. They're natural athletes, personal trainers, and physical therapists. Careers in surgery, where decisive action is crucial, can appeal to Aries energy. The key for Aries professionally is finding work that doesn't feel restrictive or monotonous. They need variety, autonomy, and the ability to initiate rather than just execute others' plans. They're not made for micromanagement or rigid corporate structures unless they're the ones creating the structure. Aries' life purpose often involves breaking new ground, leading others into uncharted territory, or developing courage in themselves and inspiring it in others. They're here to show the rest of us how to be brave, how to trust ourselves, and how to take the first step into the unknown. The challenge is learning to sustain what they start, to lead with wisdom as well as courage, and to balance independence with meaningful collaboration. So how do you work with Aries energy? Whether you're in Aries or simply want to work with this energy consciously, here are some practical ways to harness the ram's power. For Aries individuals or strong Aries placements, Firstly, find healthy outlets for your abundant physical energy through exercise, sports, or physical challenges. Secondly, practice completing what you start before moving to the next exciting thing. Thirdly, develop patience through practices like meditation or activities that require sustained focus. Fourth, balance your independence with genuine collaboration and consideration of others. Fifth, channel competitive energy into self-improvement rather than constant comparison with others. And lastly, take time to reflect before acting on impulses, even if it's just a brief pause. For everyone, especially during Aries season, firstly, use this energy to start new projects or make fresh starts in any life area. Secondly, be bold and take calculated risks you've been avoiding. Thirdly, stand up for yourself and establish healthy boundaries. Fourth, try something that scares you but excites you. Fifth, engage in physical activity to move energy through the body. Sixth, practice directness and authenticity in communication. And seventh, set intentions for what you want to pioneer or lead in your life. Remember, Aries energy is about the courage to begin, the willingness to be yourself fully, and the trust that action creates its own momentum. Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, teaches us about courage, authenticity, and the power of beginning. This cardinal fire sign reminds us that everything starts with a single spark, a moment of brave action, and a willingness to step into the unknown. Whether you have significant Aries placements or simply want to cultivate more of this energy in your life, the Ram offers profound lessons. It shows us that perfection isn't required to begin, that waiting for the perfect moment means waiting forever, and that our authentic self-expression is the greatest gift we can offer the world. The highest expression of Aries is the spiritual warrior, someone who fights not from ego, but from a deep commitment to truth, courage, and pioneering consciousness. This is the person who leads by example, who breaks trails for others to follow, and reminds us all of our own inner fire. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into Aries. If you found this valuable, please like, subscribe, and share with anyone who would benefit from understanding this powerful zodiac sign. Drop a comment below sharing your Aries placements or experiences with this energy. I love hearing from you. But until next time, please keep well, beautiful souls.